All right, guys. We got MaxPax bottom right side of the map, Solar in the top left. It's the grand finals here of a tournament. I think, is this Wardy Mondays? Oh gosh, I've already forgotten. You guys watching live, type exclamation mark bracket in the chat, and my own command that I set up not that long ago will remind me. Of course, we're covering the best games from the last week of StarCraft. MaxPax Solar series, I am always here for. And MaxPax is going to try and block the hatchery. Solar, does he go hatchery before Overlord? He does! Oh, I think he's going to get it down. I think he gets this down, right? 275 minerals, easy before that probe gets. Solar anticipates the block, because MaxPax does this so much. And that, you know, the drone, it's inside, swimming around there inside that hatchery, sticking the middle finger up, saying, screw you, suck on that, mate. Actually, I can't see the drone swimming around. Can't you normally see the drone swimming around inside the building structure, guys? I thought you could. It is gateway into gas, back at home there for MaxPax. Gonna do a bit of harassment. Of course, Solar will pull the drone to deal with it. Is it when it's further along? Oh, there we go. Now you see him swimming around in there. There we go. Oh yeah, he's like, quick. You gotta. I think it's like baking when you make a hatchery. You gotta like stir it, and then you need stiff peaks. See, these are a bit too gelatinous still, so you need stiff peaks. Don't you guys love baking? Where they'll be like, oh, you know, you'd think it would just say mix, but it says like fold, and you're like, you want me to fold the cake batter? They're like, yeah, you can't mix it. You got to fold it. I'm like, what's the difference? To be fair, I actually do a fair bit of baking, so I do know the difference. But it's still, when you're starting, it sounds ridiculous. Like, as if there's a difference. There definitely are times where I don't care and I just mix it anyway. But anyways, probes been annoying, but nothing too crazy. Solar just follows it a bit, loses a bit of mining. Of course, MaxPax loses a lot more, and I do think Solar wins out on this opening. Now, he did go for the pool and gas afterwards, and he's still going to have that pool finish at a pretty decent timing. Look at this. Yeah, so 159, he can go for 2 queens. Good timing. Good build. We were just talking about we've been sick recently, but we're feeling a lot better now. And I was saying, you know, a lot of people have the viewership's gone down a bit and stuff on the live stream, but now that we're back with the good vibes, we'll be regrowing that. We really appreciate you guys. Yukazu says, oh, I didn't go anywhere. I've been here the whole time. I appreciate you, Yukazu. Thank you, mate. Thank you for the sub as well. 40 months, almost 3.5 years. Stargate opening for MaxPax. Nothing crazy there. The only thing is no chrono on the gateway, right? Very economic. It's, I'm going to chrono my probes. He'll chrono this as soon as it's done. Notice he doesn't want this probe to do a trip, so he's just waiting, and he tells it to manually return. Chronos the probes. Super economic opening. No real serious pressure at all, right? You could still run 2 adepts across if you made an adept instead of the stalker, but they're not really going to run across until the oracle's there. So you're saying, yeah, you'll have ling speed, but I've got an oracle guarding the adepts, and it's kind of a joined pressure. But we see he's going to go stalker, probably wants to rally that here to this left side so that the overlord can't escape to the south, and the oracle will no doubt come over and spot that pillar. Actually, he goes oracle across the map first. I think he still veers it off to the left to catch that. Adept comes in just to make sure Solar's not just purely droning. Has to build a few Zerglings. Ling speed's 25 seconds away or so. Creep Tumor will get defended by the Queen Zergling. Stalker's over there on the left. I actually would have loved Solar to run to the left side. I think when you see a Stalker, not enough pros do this. Move the Overlord down to the middle and then move left. And either try to get out up to the left, or what I would do is try to go around to the left and then get to the water. Because like the moment you see a Stalker, you know they're going to do this. And the number of top pros who've gotten lazy with what you want to do to make sure the Zerg can't do that is patrol the Stalker from here to here so that it's not sight blocked by the cliff. Second gateway goes down. Wall off is complete. Zergling's trying to protect the Overlord. But of course it will go down. He's already built an extra Overlord, so Solar's fine. He's bought a bit of time there. Kept the Oracle at home. He's going to go for a second Spore Crawler. 2 more Queens, so 5 Queens. Now, I noticed a Laser and a bunch of the Euro guys were playing a 4-Queen Spore Crawler dependent style. I think that style is really interesting if you're Zergling pressuring the Protoss, keeping the Oracles at home a bit. If you're not, it really feels awkward not having the mobility to defend in between your bases. Like, if they go triple Oracle, you lose 1 or 2 Queens, it's a bit rough. I think it's good, though, as a meta play, if you're playing against someone who plays the... Oh, out of position. MaxPax for the classic split-up distraction. Gets 3 drones. Juicy pickoffs. And that Oracle even went back in looking for an opening. 4th hatchery's already down for Solar, though. 3 drones, not the end of the world. I was going to say it's a good meta play to go for the 4-Queen, like the very minimal Spore Crawler anti-air, if you're playing against a guy who goes single Oracle into Archon drop or something like that. You know, really skimp on the anti-air. And to be fair, against those guys, I think an even better play is just don't build spores at all. Just build the 5 queens. And just be a bit more active with your Zerglings, potentially, to keep those oracles at home. I do love the Polish Gambit. We don't see it very often these days, since the queens are so expensive and the spores do so much damage. The Polish Gambit is where you skip spores. He's gonna get him, he's gonna get him. MaxPax. Too greedy, gets 3 drones. If he didn't double back for the extra attempt at damage, would have got both oracles out. Would have been a successful opening. As a Zerg, you are so happy to lose a few extra drones for that oracle. And now MaxPax has to rebuild it. That starves his gas, delays his +1 a little, makes it harder to build these Stalkers. He does already have 7, though. Dude, these Stalker Oracle pressures are so early. Solar's stopping at 59 workers to make Aspire. Oh, I was saying before the series started that a lot of Solar's success in a best-of-5 finals is going to be dependent on if he can surprise him with Mutas and actually win a game. That'll be amazing. And I was actually saying I don't think he's going to play Mutas because he's messed up Muta play against MaxPax, Hero, a few of these guys recently in the last month or so, where he would go Mutas, have a decent position, but he'd make a few very small technical little mistakes, and that would really, really cost him. And I thought his confidence would be down, and he'd go, oh, Mutas are bad. I love that Solar knows that it's not just Mutas are bad, it's he made a few small mistakes in those games. Let them slip away. And he's just going to fix it. I love that dedication to screw up a style a few times and kind of not blame the style, which so many players fall into that trap of. They're like, oh, Mutas are bad. It's like, well, Mutas are hard to pull off, but they're really good to keep the Protoss on their toes. Stalker Oracles on the front, though, keeping him very pressured right now. This base is very open. Lings are in here as well. Nexus taking some damage. Stalker Adept coming forward. Oh, Nexus does get cancelled. Stasis trap number 1 goes off. 9 Mutas are building. Solar, he's got +1 melee and 65 drones. As long as he doesn't lose the 4th hatchery and he can hide the Mutas coming out, then he's in an amazing spot because Mr. Max has no idea. A few Zerglings have died, but it's not too bad. 38 Zerglings sounds like a lot. It's not too bad against this. Just remember, MaxPax committed quite a bit. But MaxPax does have a 4th base here. Got that Adept guarding it as well. Zerglings, will they be able to remove the cannon? Ling Queen has to engage. Mutas are going across the map to the right side. Ling's trying to fight this. The Stasis trap's so annoying, though, making it so you can't chase him. The Ling's trade out for that cannon kill. The Muta's going across the map. He's now... Oh, I think MaxPax might have him, though. MaxPax just so relentless with the pressure. I kept thinking MaxPax was going to fall back, but MaxPax is like, dude, I've got 7-gate blink. They're trading really well. Let's keep on trading. But he does leave his main base wide open. And that's going to force him to push it a little bit deeper. The Queen Zergling trying to defend. Solar desperately needs more Zerglings on the front to defend, but he's already killed 13 workers. These Mutas get 17, 18 probes. He's going to rotate to the natural as well. The Muta Queen Zergling outnumbered here. Stasis trap goes off on only 1 Zergling, which is good for Solar. He's got to be careful. There's a few Zealots in the depth in there as well. Mutas will come in on this left side. Don't want to fight the cannon, though. I don't know if MaxPax target fired that Muta or not, but he just got himself a Mutalisk kill with the cannon. Well played. This Stasis trap will keep him back. That's not out yet, and Solar's going to eat a big Stasis, which, does he chase, though? He's got enough Mutas maybe to overwhelm? Oh, the Revenge Blink. Blink's back the weak Stalkers. Blink's forward to chase the Mutas when they turn to run. 20 probes did go down. If Solar can hang on to this 4th, like I said, he's in a good spot. His production is amazing. Most Zergs float a lot of money in this scenario because all their queens are on the front. Solar's kept his money pretty low. He's only just started to float a little bit of that in the midst of all this. Because Zergling's, of course, such a cheap unit. Mutas do spend your money pretty damn well because they are so expensive. But here comes some Zealots and Adepts. The Stalker count's very high. The Muta's trying to fight this. The Stalker micro is so good, man. The Oracles could turn on their lasers if Mass Ling comes in. For now, though, it's Stalker versus Mutalisk, and I think the Stalkers are winning. Oh, MaxPax with some excellent trades there. Units lost tab still only 400 in favor of MaxPax. He's got a 4th base up. It's saturating. He's back up to 65 workers. Solar's always just barely shy of having enough Lings to overwhelm and kill this. And I think he should maybe go for the big engage. Oh, he's going to get 5 Stalkers here. That's huge. That's so many Stalkers. Finally, we are seeing it. The Zealots come in with the +1, I should say, and they do 2-shot those Zerglings. Charge is done as well. Zealots being mixed in here is very effective. Absolutely relentless play for Maximus Paximus here. The Zealots get surrounded. The Stalker's trying to fall back. Remember, he doesn't have a forward warp in point. Is Max going to fall to a more defensive stance? Because then the Mutas are going to dance around your bases, and you've got to defend all these mineral lines. Right now, he's defending through offense. He's saying, as long as I hold this position, I'm in a good spot. +1 armor, amazing upgrade against Lings and Mutas. Because remember, Zerglings, very frequent low damage attacks. -1 on that's huge. We'll negate the +1 melee. Likewise, the Mutas do multiple bounces of damage, each one affected by the armor. Stalker's trying to micro back. He's trying to focus fire the Mutas, which is the correct call as well, and he is volleying them down. Zealots will clean up a lot of these Zerglings before the Mutas can get them. Stalker count, though, is a bit low. He needs more Stalkers, does MaxPax. If he loses these Stalkers, it's tragic for him. The Mutas are just committing. Solar says, screw this, no more running away, run forwards. But as a Stalker warp in comes in, the Mutas have to back away. They got to deal with these Zealots. The Zerglings cannot deal with the Zealots. Bit of a dicey position for both sides. Up 4 probes is MaxPax right now in this knife fight of a game 1. It's a small map, not necessarily the best map to play Mutas on. And yet Solar's done a good job of it. He's leaving a lot of units at home, and he's just going to send a squad of Mutas to do some flybys. Stalker warp-ins, only 4 of them. He could fight those, but he doesn't know how many there are. And this is not enough Mutas to like 1 or 2 shot the Stalkers, which is really where you want to consider taking those fights. Doesn't lose any Mutas though, gets 2 probes, damages a few more, not bad, not bad. These Mutas, oh, he's going to try and join the Mutas. This is a good fight actually for Solar. But MaxPax has more Stalkers available nearby. MaxPax continuing to attack without a Warp Prism is a little bit crazy in my opinion. It feels so ambitious. I kind of am like, I mean, he can't afford a Phoenix swap. He's playing a Gateway Man style and he feels like he's got to keep trading, but look at that. Oh, look at that. The setting off of the stasis traps. MaxPax makes it a bit too easy for him. Stalker's in trouble. These Stalkers on the right side trying to blink away. The other Stalkers trying to reinforce them. The Zerglings are like purposely avoiding the Zealots are the Zerglings. The Mutas trying to fight. Stalkers up against Mutas. +1 armor's not quite there. The +1 on the Mutas helping out a fair bit. Their bouncers cascading through the Stalkers. Those glaive worms bouncing between targets, ripping him up there. Do glaive worms have barbs, guys? They have like barbs on them, right? So they kind of get, but then they bounce off things. So maybe not. Barbs mean they would get stuck in it. Oracle's dancing around the left side. MaxPax taking some really big losses. He's starting to build Phoenix. He's realizing Gateway Man, it's not going to hold up long term, especially now with Solar taking a 5th base. He's got a little bit more gas mining there. That Muta count is out of control. 30 Mutalisks. Phoenix coming out one at a time is probably going to be worse than just building Stalkers against this. Oh, he thought the Mutas were going to run, but the Mutas, whenever you blink on Mutalisks, it gives up your range advantage. Mutas have 3 range, Stalkers 6, but the Mutas also can all stack on top of each other. So when you blink forward and you can't blink back, the Mutas can all stack and fight, sometimes just a few Stalkers at once, right? Like here, you could just turn around and fight that. And Solar, Lings and Mutas coming in the left side as well. Zealot Stalker caught out front of the base. On the right side, he goes in and starts killing some pylons. The Mutas engaging on the left. He does have to pull back from that left fight as the stasis trap's there. Right side, he pulls back from there as well. Thinking about fighting these Stalkers. Bit of a crazy engagement. He's got +2 flyer attack on the way. It's nowhere near done. And I think that armor upgrade's really helping these Stalkers survive in this game as the second Stargate does go down. How many gases? 6 gas for MaxPax. Of course, 10 gas now for Solar. Solar's found his way to 76 workers, which means the Mutalisk production is off the charts. 30 Mutalisks on the field. He's lost 46 so far this game, but he's killed 68 Stalkers, which I think is why that's acceptable. Brings it up to 69 Stalker kills, and of course now that number cascading higher and higher. The Phoenix do crazy damage. You do not want to just stand there and tank Phoenix fire. This is a crazy choice for Solar, but it's because he's in on the left at the same time. It's more of a distraction than anything. He sacks some Mutas to pull him out of position, and look at that damage on that left base. Not to mention, now he turns around on the right and tries to swarm those Phoenix. They do not have range. Phoenix with range, hard counter Mutalisks. Phoenix without range do well against Mutas, but not when they're outnumbered 3-1. And Solar, of course, catching him when his attention is split. That's 2 Phoenix down. Yeah, 2 Phoenix down. If he can surprise him, this is not quite enough to one-shot a Phoenix. I think he wants to regroup his Mutas most likely. Maybe punish this expansion in the middle. Solar takes the 6th base. He could also just slowly outscale MaxPax since MaxPax does not have a 5th or any way of establishing one. Lings on the left side, Mutas pull back in the middle. He goes back in knowing that when you run away, your opponent will back off. The Phoenix are here. One of those Mutas, Phoenix, does go down to the Mutalisks. Stalkers on the left side trying to fight. Archons would be amazing if he had a bit of gas bank, and the gas is starting to build, but never had a Templar Archives. Phoenix chasing down the Mutas. Dude, 75 Mutalisks dead. This is a good Phoenix count now. They don't have range, but that is 7 Phoenix, and I think Solar is actually completely swapping off Mutas now. I don't know. I feel like he could have actually broken MaxPax here. I think MaxPax really good at hanging on in this hype. I think most players just make so many more mistakes, and that's what Solar's not used to, is so hard to defend against this Mutaling aggression multi-prong. Most Protoss players fall apart under pressure, and MaxPax is just like, dude, I played 4,000 games against Clem in ZvP. Like, I played a billion series against Serral. Like, I know I'm used to just getting swarmed by these guys nonstop, you know? I'm used to being on the back foot, surviving. Templar Archives, 2 more gases coming in. If MaxPax can secure a 5th and get to late game, that's just crazy. But the trick for Solar is you just need to engage with these Hydras anytime before Storm's out, and I think you can crush. Sees the Hydra swap. MaxPax, he's going to kill a lot of drones. Dude, don't tell me Solar's throwing this game. I don't even think throw is a fair word. Dude, he accidentally picked up an egg, which is a 20 armor, 200 hit point thing that the Phoenix do no damage to. That misclick on the egg was really bad. A lot of his Phoenix was shooting an egg and doing no damage. Probably could have killed like 8 more drones there. A bit sloppy for Max. I just felt like Solar had him pretty much dead to rights for the last 10 minutes. And now MaxPax with a vicious counterattack. Dude, the Hydra count's not ready. His Zerglings are worthless against Archon Zealot. No way MaxPax is going to be... The Mutas are going to get racked by the Phoenix. The Hydra's doing okay, but they jump. This is awkward. The Link's coming a little bit late. Oh, the Link's around. The Link's around, though. Oh, the Link's around. Even though the Mutas get wrecked there, Hydras are coming forward. The Link's around was good enough. There wasn't quite enough Archons and Zealots. MaxPax army spread a bit too thin on creep. It kind of spread into multiple areas where the Lings... I thought the Lings were coming in late, but the Lings waiting and biding their time. He waited until MaxPax spread his units out, and that's when they're most effective. 24 drones, 25 drones just went down, though. Wait. He just lost every drone. 6 kills, 8 kills, and 7 kills. They just killed the whole mineral line. Solar didn't notice. 26 drones went down, almost all on this right side. He's down to 41 workers. He's still dead. He's still dead. Assuming you could defend the counter push. Look at that mass Archon Zealot. Yeah, he's just going to have more units. No way. MaxPax trading 8,000 resources better. Remember what I said? There's been a bunch of games recently of ZvP where Solar's had the Muta advantage, and he's just made a few small technical details and let it slip away. And this might be fitting that same narrative. I can't believe it. I thought he had this in the bag. I'm absolutely... I don't spoil myself on these series for a reason. I thought that game was completely over. All right, guys. Well, I spent like 5 minutes poring over that last game, and I'm gonna cut it out of the YouTube video because it was a bit rambling and me just go, oh, what? How did he hold? I think the consensus. So let's summarize. What did we find, guys? MaxPax is a wizard who's insanely good at multitasking. You're meant to fall apart under pressure there, and he just kept on not. His multitasking is so good. Solar did make a few missteps with his engagements, but part of what really happened is MaxPax was able to defend from 2 sides really well, and whenever the front side looked a bit undermanned to the point where surely Ling Muta could just jump on top, Solar would jump on top, and guess what? It wouldn't work because there were stasis traps. And then the next wave, there was new stasis traps, and then new stasis traps, and new stasis traps. MaxPax was so consistently putting stasis traps outside his 3rd and 4th base, and they were freezing big packs of Zerglings, and those actually saved MaxPax in that game. I mean, they really were crucial at just giving, right at a moment where he would have buckled under a Zergling surrounding the Stalkers, and then they had time to get a few Zealot warp-ins, wait for a choke point. The Phoenix were able to micro more heavily in the main because he wasn't having to micro against the Zergling surround at the 3rd at the same time. I mean, just brilliant defense for MaxPax, and I don't think Solar made any massive blunders. I just think MaxPax demands a higher level of attention to detail where small mistakes become big mistakes when your opponent's as good at multitasking, at spamming those stasis traps in the midst of everything else that's happening as MaxPax is. And Solar runs into stiff opposition. Unfortunately, loses that. I really feel for him because this is like... He's the guy I always look to as the guy who finds the right spot to go mutas, gets the advantage. And recently, it's either he gets into what looks like a good spot and Hero just A-moves in with a big Archon Stalker push, or MaxPax wriggles his way out of trouble. Crazy, crazy game on 10k feet. MaxPax is now up a game in the series. We'll see if Solar can keep it together for game 2. It's a best-of-5 series. One game by no means decides the whole thing, and that was a good map for Protoss as well. Probably MaxPax's pick. I assume this one's maybe more Solar's pick as a medium-sized map where the bases are a bit more accessible. The 4-base setup a bit easier to attack into. Is this live? It's a live stream, so yeah, you bet it's live. Welcome. People have actually stopped memeing about that. I think they're honest questions today. The best games of StarCraft is a show where we cover the best games of StarCraft. Therefore, we know they are not live. We do this show this day every week. I'm doing it one day late today, actually, to be fair. But we cover the best matches. So if you see best games of StarCraft in the stream title, logical deduction, not live. That's how time works. I am not a precog. I do wish I could see which games would be bangers beforehand, but we've got to, we take recommendations from the community. You guys let me know. Oh, did you check out this series, Pig? This series was amazing. This match was amazing. Sometimes you guys recommend garbage. I'm not going to lie. Usually the recommendations are good, but occasionally you can just tell someone's such a fan of a player. Did you see so-and-so match was amazing? And I watch it and I'm like, it was okay. But, you know, if you really love a player, you're emotionally invested, sometimes it gets a bit more hyped up. Oracle number 2 coming out. Let's see. So the Stalker Oracle seems to be MaxPax standard right now. This is near identical to the last game. Solar did get to go for a 16 hatchery this time. He did go for the Overlord earlier. So good, I think, mix up for him. You know, not just playing overly safe with the early hatchery every game, which he's sometimes, you know, MaxPax is so commonly blocking that it's not a bad idea against him. Twilight Council behind the natural. That looks like a Glaive Adept timing, yeah? Or is it? It could just be early blink because he goes quick 4 gas. Solar did not see that Twilight Council. Oh, good Spore. Doesn't get the second one down. I don't think he had minerals for it. He should have gone Extractor. He didn't click it towards the gas. Only one drone going down, though, is really good there for Solar, and third Spore's needed anyway. Early melee. It is, of course, going to be 4 gateways and a forge. Surely that's a blink opening. Yeah. Blink coming in. Melee versus blink is a good matchup of builds for Zerg. I always feel bad when, like, sometimes you play a series against a Protoss and it's the game you go Mutas is the game where they've gone 2 Stargate Phoenix by surprise. And you're like, oh, really? Actually, to be fair, you can just go Corruptors then if you scout. Oh! Oracle barely gets out. And look at this, guys. Only 2 drones, 1 Zergling, 1 Overlord. Great start here for Solar. Yeah, as I was saying, there's like the game where you go +1 melee, they hit you with a Zealot Archon timing, and you're like, well, I really don't want to be building Zerglings against this. The game where they go Blink Aggression is the game where you're just building Roaches. You're like, Roach Speed isn't ready yet, so you just get really bad trades on the Blink Stalkers until Roach Speed's ready. Bane Speed's coming in. Or Bane Nest, I should say, is coming in. Looks like a straight 4-base Hydra Bane off the melee, which is it's a good way to play. If there was Glaive Adepts, you could make Banelings. I mean, this is such a late Baneling nest, only if it was very late Glaive Adepts. Wing Counter's going to come in. How many Queens did he build? So it was 6 Queens, 18 Zerglings. Not the safest play by any means. He did take some risks here, Solar, but I like this. That Stalker's a bit too far forward in the wall for MaxPax, which means the Lings get good surface area if they attack that. Could attack it with 3 or 4 Lings at a time. Gets a Rallying Probe. Worth losing a Zergling for. Queens and Lings are at home as well. And oh, gets himself a free Adept. The Adept chase is a bit too far. Good pickoffs. Hydrogen's almost finished, just past 6 minutes. 4th base looking healthy. More Stalkers are rallying across the map. Solar has a lot of Lings. He's also making Banes on the other side of the map, so he's actually thinking about counter-attacking right now by just rolling Banes into the 3rd while the fight happens. No way. Stasis Trap only gets about 6 Zerglings. That's not too bad. Sets off a second one as well. I think he's just got to click the Banes in now. I don't think he can wait. Does a Rallying Probe spot it? It doesn't. No Rallying Probe sees it. Unfortunate for MaxPax. He's microing the front. The Lings, of course, engage so that he's distracted. And the Banelings say, kaboom, baby. 17 workers for 8 Banelings. Great trade for Solar. And now he can give up his 4th. If he holds his 4th, it is such an advantage. It's actually insane. Queens could focus that Oracle. And that Oracle does cancel the Stasis Trap that it started. But another Stasis does freeze up a good 15 Zerglings. This base is damaged a lot, but there's Hydras and Queens with Transfuse. The Stalkers are very much kind of low on shields. Many of them wounded on the front line. The stasis traps are annoying, but I don't think they're enough to hold this position. These Lings are about to crack out of this. Another one goes down. MaxPax desperately trying to maintain position as he takes a 4th base, and he's playing full Gateway Man, guys. It is a 4-gas, 6-gate 4th base. It's just real classic Oracle Stalker pressure. But the early +1 melee, the counter attacks, that lovely little just cheeky Baneling attack into the 3rd. Such a clever move. Thank you for the 3-month resub, Pank. Appreciate you very much. Stalker's trying to ooh, pull back. Stasis Trap only gets 1 Zergling. Right. Oh, Zealots do catch him. Okay, Zealots with +1 more than a match for those Zerglings, but the Stalkers can't be losing too many of these, and I love the way Solar's just engaging this. He's only got 7 drones on the 4th. He's probably going to be transferring from his main in the next 30 seconds, though. Stalker's still just relentless on the front. I mean, the thing is, MaxPax really is not transitioning. After the way these trades have gone so well for Solar, the only reason he's able to maintain pressure on the front is specifically because he's just building a 4th. He's only on 63 probes. He's just now building a Templar Archives. Solar's got Crew Spines. He's almost got movement speed and +1 about to kick in for the Hydra. Zealots on the south, but look at the army split. Look at the army split. More than ready for that. And he's going to clean that up with ease. Bane speed's almost ready. Stasis Trap on the left is still there. Solar does not see it just yet. Too many things taking his attention. 5th base will go up on the south. Hydra Bane, there's nothing to stop this Hydra Bane push. I feel like Solar's just waiting patiently, and he's going to hit a critical massive unit. A few more Stalkers go down. That's 9 Stalkers. MaxPax will try to keep multitasking with the Zealots. When this Hydra Bane comes across this map, how do you possibly stop this? As Solar. As MaxPax, sorry. How in the world? Stalkers microing back as best they can, but the trading is way too even, and yeah, Solar loses his 5th base, but only temporarily. The Lingbane Hydra will chase MaxPax back. Baneling's getting a few hits to clear those bad boys. And of course, the Hydra count's up to 30 Hydras when these two pop. There's going to be a good 16, 20 Banelings. Good pack of Zerglings as well to buffer against the Stalkers and tank the damage. Archons are making at home right now, which will help against the Lingbane a little bit, but the Hydra's good against Archons. And it feels like Solar realizes he's got the numbers and he can just push in. He's going to go for the counter on the 3rd with some Hydra Speed Bane there. These Hydras have an amazing angle. Banes, if they go for the worker line, could do big damage. I love the Zealot Warp in to block there. The Banelings pull to that left side to avoid that. On the front, though, Stalkers, no match for this. Not on their own. The Nexus goes down. The Stalkers start to fall. Banelings roll into the daddy. MaxPax goes, ah! 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 That's the only way I can describe MaxPax's micro right now. It's honestly, it's a controlled screaming loudly in panic, but there's nothing you can do here, even as one of the best multitasking Protoss players in the world, probably the best multitasking Protoss in the world, other than scream, because you are too overwhelmed. There's way too much Zerg on the dance floor. You are not going to survive against this Hydraling Bane. Really excellent. I love that early 8 Baneling run by, the +1 melee Zergling defense. Solar there with a very well executed build. I think it's one where I don't think MaxPax knew what he was playing against. Did he, guys? Let's go take a look. So did he see this Evo chamber hidden in the back at all in this game? I don't think so. Okay, so he saw it at this point. I guess maybe he spots it about 5 minutes when an Oracle gets in there. Ah, okay. So he tagged the drones. He only sees it at 5 minutes, and he's already pretty committed to his strategy at that point. GG, well played. Lovely play by both players, but Solar ties up the score. All right, guys. MaxPax in the bottom left of Old Republic. Divisive map. One where I think Protoss normally prefers it over Zerg at the top level because there's so much space between you and the Zerg, and space means harder for Zerg to kill you, hard to get across and get you, and easier for you to get to late game. Protoss loves late game, Zerg players do not, even though Serral's pretty god tier at it. Even he is pretty actively, you could tell, trying to avoid that late game. Love these little banners here, by the way. It's going to be a hatchery first after Overlord, guys, but his Overlord doesn't see a probe, so we'll build one more drone will Solar. That's a 16 hatchery, goes down at 275 minerals, right on 46 seconds. And we see for MaxPax, this is actually a gate gas, but no scout. Now, if you're going to do a no scout opening, you're better off going gas first than gate first. MaxPax likes to do this sometimes. I've asked him about it. He says it feels better. I wish there was more to it, guys. I really wish there was more to it. I've asked him. I could try again. Maybe he's added some analysis to it, but I was like, why don't you just go gas first? If you're not, unless maybe he scouts after putting the Nexus down or the Cybercore, and he figures the gate's a few seconds earlier in case he's getting 12 pulled. And like he can maybe get an emergency defense together. But normally you're basically playing this opening. You're saying, if you go 12 pull, I just lose. If I'm not scouting, I don't see a 12 pull coming, I'm going to get so far behind that I'm effectively dead in the game. And yeah, he's not scouting, so I don't know. Slightly inefficient. It doesn't make that much difference. Just a small odd choice is all. Nexus goes up on the natural. Hatch gas pool, of course, for Solar. It's a good map for Mutalisks. Solar's played Mutas a few times on it recently. Does he dare play Mutas 2 out of 3 games, though? I mean, it's not usually the best when your opponent's expecting it. On the other hand, right now, MaxPax isn't so much scouting constantly as he is just going Blinkstalker, aggro, Oracle every game. Then again, you know what? MaxPax is not the same player he used to be. He used to do the same thing over and over again. If I was in Solar's shoes, I would predict MaxPax to do an Adept pressure, like a Glaive Adept, or I don't think he'll go 2-star Tempest or anything, but maybe a charge pressure with like just a fast third into early storms. I think MaxPax will change his style up this game. I don't think he's just going to keep playing the same style over and over again. I could be wrong, but I feel like MaxPax has been a bit better at prioritizing not being too predictable, as he so far does the exact same build order with the Stalker. But I mean, you can easily pivot after building the Stalker. So he's the Overlord here. Stalker could come out and try to hunt it down, but it's kind of hard to, because your Overlord can run to the right and then up to this pillar and whatnot. Is there even a reason to keep the Overlord here, guys? I feel like if your Overlord's going to be out here, it sees so little, you might as well just run up and then try to get to the left side of the map so you can dip in behind the natural later. Oh, slick Evo Chamber. Remember, Evo Chamber only costs as much as a Spore. Got way more hit points, and it blocks him chasing the other units. Second Oracle could start up at 150 gas. Instant chrono. No energy recharge early on. Just going to take that nice quick 3.5-minute third base before even walling off his natural. And he's not going to pursue the Stalker. The Stalker would pursue the Overlord, I mean. Look at me misspeaking. Creep Tumor in the main base. So it's straight to 5 queens. The Spore in the main finishes at about, what, 355? Starts a Spore in the natural as the first one's finishing. 2 queens come far enough forward. The queens are a bit further back. Oracle might have dived. Said, oh yeah, I'll kill 1 or 2 drones, take a bit of damage. Because the queens move forward to intercept. Great play by Solar. Look at Solar's Overlord vision. He's got Lings in the map as well. So he's got a bit of forwards pressure with his Zerglings. He's just got to be careful that 2 Adepts don't sneak in. Going forward with your Zerglings like this, if the Adepts shade in from a weird angle right now, they could do a lot of damage. But he's lucky. This is a very defensive build for MaxPax, who is playing, yeah, he's playing charge. This could be Colossus, but I think this is just going to be a quick storm build. Might do a little bit of a Zealot Archon pressure. Solar's got a super fast 4th base, my lord. Insanely fast 4th. The Oracles are splitting up. This is the classic MaxPax move. He knows the Spore's not done yet. Only gets 1 drone, though. Really good defensive pull of the drones. And there as well. Oh, he did go back a little early, but only 2 drones. Both Oracles heavily damaged. Queens could have shuffled forward and got a few extra hits there. Gets 1. It's one is shot below the shields. So yeah. I think it's harder to pressure with the Stalker Oracle because the map's a bit bigger, number 1. And I think number 2, you just want to mix it up as MaxPax. So I think this is like MaxPax is kind of playing correctly by mixing up his style, but this is also predictable and actually why Mutas would be amazing here. What are we doing with the lair? He's going to drop a Spire. I feel it. I feel it in my fingies, guys. Let's go to Solar's Vision. Starts Roach Speed. Does lose 1, 2 drones. Targets the Oracle, gets a bit of damage. Yeah, he's dropping it. He drops the Spire. Puts Workers on gas on the 3rd. Starts his Spire. Okay, prioritized Roach Speed over Spire. He is going to do Mutas 2 out of 3 games. Ballsy. But it's a good map for... I mean, this is the Mutalisk map. Now, especially against charge, you got to be careful, though. He sees no Stalkers. He sees a gas on the 3rd. This is 100% a charge build. The question is, does he realize that there's an Archon potential pressure coming? Because if you get caught without any roaches, you're in trouble. So he builds 7 roaches for safety because he knows if he doesn't have at least 6, 7 roaches, Archons could just rip him apart. Sees the prism. He does spot the prism. I don't know if he noticed it though. Slings are kind of roaming the map, wondering what's going on out here. He sees a few adepts here, which he should absolutely look to surround. And he will do so. 2 adepts for free, but Zealot Archon on the top. Mass Roach Queen trying to build to defend. Solar has to pull back here. He's got to try and kite and transfuse. Good transfuses on the roaches. He's got to try and pull the roaches back as well. I think you actually want the queens to do a little bit more tanking. I know you don't want the queens to die. They do have 175 hit points and an armor. Roaches only 145. So let's get cleaned up. Great hold. 5 roaches for 6 zealots. That's a good trade. Good trade. Your spire's up. You're building Mutalisks now. Unfortunately, the problem is you can't stop him from seeing that spire. And MaxPax. Oh, dude, he hasn't seen it yet. He hasn't seen it yet. The roaches, as long as they micro south, he's not got a reason to go to the right. Oh my gosh, he's not going to see the spire. Okay, MaxPax, is there a way he can read this? I mean, you've seen nothing but roaches, and you saw gases on the 4th. You should know this is mutas. He should know this is mutas, but he's building a second robo because he's seen a ton of roaches. And this is Solar. He might be going for an 8-gas Ravager all-in. Solar loves that sort of build, even though he did say to me he thinks that timing's kind of dead in a little interview we did not that long ago. I don't know, man. Oh, I don't think he has any idea about these Mutalisks. There's not many. Is he going to go for the High Templar? Energy recharge on the High Templar. He's building cannons, so I guess he kind of has an idea this could be coming in. But he's just warped in Zealots. And he has to morph the energy recharge High Templar into Archons. Going into the main is the correct call with these Mutalisks. This Muta's going after the Oracles could be big. He's going after the cannon in the main base. He realizes, hey, let's just kill the anti-air, find the damage. But that does mean there's a lot of DPS that could have gone on probes. Remember, workers are always the highest value kill for the amount of damage you have to do. It's 50 minerals for a 40 hit point unit. It's so vulnerable to kill workers. He's got to make hard decisions about what he prioritizes. I think the gas is a good target there. With the Archon drop hot on his tails, MaxPax survives. 62 probes here to what is about to be 86, 87 workers. And he's going to take the rich gas base. I think the rich gas base is, not my favorite. At least it's got 8 minerals on this map, so it's not as bad as the other. It's actually much better than on other maps. Roachling on the front distracting. Normally that's really good for helping engage the Stalkers. There's so little anti-air in this game. It's Mass Muta. +1 flyer attacks, +1 melee's on the way. I want to see Solar just go hard on the Mass Mutalisk. I don't want to see a half-assed transition out of it. I want to see nothing but Mutas and Zerglings. This gas will bring him to effectively 10 gases. I actually think a 6th base would be good as well. He's got so much money. He'll actually probably need the production. His injects are excellent. Look at how many... The injects have already been queued up, so they're just going to keep injecting. Even if he tunnel visions on his micro a little bit, that'll be great. Already saturating this as soon as it's up. Muta's gathering. He's got +1 armor coming in. Phoenix are building 2 at a time. There's 3 Phoenix, 4 Phoenix now out. Mutas. Oh, good damage. He's going to take out the cannon. And you want to try and clump these Mutas and catch those Phoenix when they come forward. One of them already almost goes down. He gets 1 Phoenix there. He's got to stay away from those Archons, doesn't he? Those Archons are the real threat. Oh, good Archon shot there. A few Mutas go down, but he got so many probes. Very nicely done. Catches a Stalker on the front as well. Muta's dancing around. He's happy to fight those Phoenix when they don't have Archon coverage. He goes forward. Not quite able to get them there. How many Mutas has he lost? Only 9 for 26 probes and a Phoenix and a Stalker. Great trading so far. He's building Corruptors already, knowing that there is 2-star Phoenix. He did miss that. That's one thing I didn't mention at the start of the last game. I did also say in the post-game analysis, which I cut out of the YouTube video here, is he could have added 5 or 6 Corruptors on that 10,000 feet game to tank the damage. But he chose not to. Cost him big time, because as this Phoenix count grows, you've got to be wary, man. And even there, staying a bit long, up to 11 Mutas have gone down now. 3 base Protoss. MaxPax is building a killer army. And I think you have to base trade this army. You do not fight this army. You have to base trade it. It's enough Lings with +1 melee. They can overwhelm these Zealots. +2 doesn't actually help Zealots any more than +1. So that's a good fight for the Lings and the Roaches. The Muta Corruptor on the left side. And this is absolutely how you play. You do not want to fight defensively. He's building Spines at home as Solar because he's worried about the big Zerg all in. But I think as long as you just keep rallying Lings down the flanks, he can't push you. And that's actually where Solar might be making a mess up right now. And that he's not. He's traded a lot of units, but he's not able to get the base trade going. Dude, the Archon Phoenix Cannon defending so well. He doesn't have Graviton, or not Graviton Catapult, Onion Pulse Crystals, as I like to call it. Anion. Onion. Makes the Zerg player cry if they're on mass muter, and you get that +2 range on the Phoenix. He's not got that, though. That's more Zealots, Archons, and Phoenix coming in. Muters keep rallying through the army. He's got to base trade this. Yeah, joining the Lings with this is the right call, but there's so many. He's got to get rid of the Archons. He's just going to... Oh, my God. The Muters took some big splash. Okay, he's like, well, I can't actually fight this army, but he's going to get busted at home. The drones are trying to run. Dude, is MaxPax going to wizard this again? Is MaxPax immune to Mutalisks? My lord, I don't know how. If you get rid of these Phoenix, it's all good. He's got to get rid of the Archons. The Archons have to be the target. He gets rid of one. Both Archons are down. The Muta count's only at 22, though. The Lings are rallying into this army and dying. He did kill a High Templar. He's maybe got to stop rallying through this. I feel like the rally points should have changed maybe to the back of the base or something. Muters coming in. They will kill the cannons. Can he depower the Stargates? That'd be a good move. The Phoenix count is still at 9. The Corruptors are going to fight those, but the battery healing and the cannons really helping out there. One Stargate has been depowered. Meanwhile, Spine Crawlers are lowering the unit count a little bit. The Immortal's very good against buildings. Not many Zealots here. He could pull the Muters back to deal with this, as there's only one Archon, one High Templar, and a pack of Stalkers. The Muters jumping on this third base. The Corruptors happy to fight those Phoenix, and they are doing very well, the Corruptors, against those Phoenix. Remember, the Phoenix do not have any attack upgrades. This base is getting hit by so many Mutalisks, even though the Zerglings are only now finally arriving, as most of them died to the army. That is absolutely crucial. He recalls here. Storms plus Phoenix plus Stalkers. Will he deal with the Mutalisks? He's damaged them all, but he's not able to kill them. The Archon on the ground, not enough. And dude, MaxPax from an awful, stuck on 3 base for 11 minutes. And he somehow still made it scary for Sol. And that's the power of MaxPax. He knew probably wasn't going to get a chance to get a 4th, but he built up that big, scary army, and Solar had to commit to not fighting. If Solar grouped and tried to engage that army, you got like 4 or 5 Archons, 9 Phoenix, some Storm. Muta Zergling is worthless against that army. And this is the big problem I run into, because you guys know I'm a big proponent of Mutalisks being a really important move in this matchup that you've got to mix in once in a while. But the Protoss has a death ball. It is not mobile, and it cannot stop you base trading and finding trades away from their big ball of units. Basically, the Protoss has one win condition: get big ball of Archon Phoenix, attack Zerg, have Zerg be stupid enough to fight it. And I've talked a lot about the theory of Zerg play, especially in ZvT, but often in ZvP as well. If your opponent's whole strategy is based around hitting a certain timing attack where all their upgrades finish and their army hits a power spike and they want to fight right here, right now, in just this position, in a choke point preferably. I know this is a crazy strategic revelation to some players who argue with me about Mutaling being useless because it can't beat the army. Don't fight your opponent when they want to fight you. Basic strategy. If your opponent's going, please, if they're pointing at the ground in the middle of the ring and saying, fight me, pussy, you won't, you coward. Turns out, going into the middle of the ring and just starting to swing with them and dropping all your defense, probably not the smartest way to fight, especially if you punch like that. And that's essentially what Muta Zergling looks like in a front-on fight against Archon Phoenix. This was really good for Sol. I love the way he just kept rotating. He caught all the Zealots down here with this army, kept trying to just rally Mutaling across the map, refused to fight in front-on. Really well played by Sol. Like, gets the 2-1 lead. All right, guys, top right, MaxPax. He's going to go for the early block again. Does Solar build an Overlord? 100 minerals in a second. And he builds the Overlord, which means he's going to be blocked, and he's going to have to take this third base. Time for MaxPax to do some block the base. Go for Glaive Adepts, maybe, guys? Or just go for early Stalker pressure again. Back to it's going pretty well for him earlier on. Almost broke through in most of those games. Guys, how did he get the hatchery down before Overlord? Oh, he cancelled his Overlord! Oh, he cancelled the Overlord! Guys, you only lose lava. You don't lose money when you cancel an egg. Oh! Sorry, I'm there just chilling because I'm thinking I've talked about the important things in the opening. MaxPax commits to a super early probe. Solar changed his mind about building the Overlord, cancels. I don't think this really loses him much. Oh, guys, where's his spawning pool? He went to 18. I think that should have been a 17 pool. That's a pretty late spawning pool, but the fact that he got his hatchery on location is still a great start for Solar. We were just talking about how the campaign's a really good learning tool. Pig, do you think the top pros have played campaign generally? I think it's 50-50. I'd say it's 50-50. I'd say like half of them probably have, and half of them no. It's surprising how many people that love like hardcore multiplayer games never play the single player at all. Yeah. I grew up playing RTS campaigns, so I love a good RTS campaign. I'm playing Nightmare Legacy of the Void at the moment. I've run into the first mission, Core Hull, which actually made me want to tear my hair out. But I think it's good because it's allowed me to recalibrate, even though it's like 2.5 hour video of me just raging, which will be going up in a little bit. And I'm like unhinged. I'm so angry and upset. I'm not even happy when I finish it. I'm like, this felt like losing. But honestly, I think it's reminded me that like there are missions where there are so many problems thrown at you in the Nightmare moderated, sorry, not modded, modified, the modded version of the StarCraft 2 campaign. The Nightmare mode is so difficult. It's so hard. And it's so much fun. But that mission, I think, was a little bit unclear how some of the mechanics worked. And I think one of the big things I realized afterwards was that you had to use your ally. You had to let your allies carry some of the fights. And letting AI allies, relying on them for anything, or even thinking about them as doing anything other than just wasting a few seconds of my opponent's time here or there, is not something my brain is used to doing at all. I'm used to your AI allies in campaigns being useless, but they actually, like, Raynor actually kind of carried me on my successful run, which I was shocked by. Valerian, Mensk, Arthas as I call him, because I still couldn't believe they made a character with that model in StarCraft 2. I was like, it's just, you guys want to just put Arthas in all of your games? Super lame character. So, he just looks so stupid as well. He looks like he needs a gunblade, you know? I'm like, is this guy from the wrong game? You know? You guys think he looks more like Anduin? I don't know who's Anduin. Is this like a WoW character or something? I don't know. I'm just like, there's a son with long blonde hair who's got crazy shoulder pads who's whining all the time, you know? To me, that's Arthas. But I'm pretty sure Blizzard has created the same 3 characters in all of their games on repeat for the last 30 years, so... I'm a bit of a hater, what can I say? Sorry, I'll talk about the game. Evo Chamber on the way. He's expecting Stalkers, so he's going to go +1 melee again. Adept well positioned. Probe, good micro on the probe. Mineral walks through the Adept to safety. Oracle, looking for the drone. Oh, he should have gone for the Evo there. Maybe didn't have the minerals. Could have saved it. But only one drone, not too bad. Chat says Solar likes to lose the first Overlord. It is surprising that he hasn't kept that Overlord alive, right? You'd think he would have adapted just with how much MaxPax has been doggedly building the Stalker every game. It's one Overlord. It's not the end of the world. And this looks like a non-glaive build, right? I think he should go glaives. MaxPax going to play Blink again. I mean, MaxPax finally changed it up on Old Republic, but as much as I thought it was like kind of proper to change your build up, it's also the weakest way to play against Mutalisks, and he found that out the hard way, didn't he? Solar just did such a good job of defending the Zealot Arc on pressure. Put him in such a good spot. Good drone pull away. Great defense. Early 4th base. Oracles are out of juice. 2 worker advantage for Zerg, but a slight supply block. Overlord pops though. Builds another one immediately. Solar's so good at the basics. So good at the basics. Forge is almost finished. Not the fastest Forge here, but it will be. I think the Stalkers will move out very soon. He's kind of hidden his Stalkers. I think he was hoping Solar would build a Roach War and make some Roaches. Solar committing to +1 melee. It's the correct strategy against this opening. Chat says, Anduin is Varian's son. What's a Varian? I don't know who Varian is. And he eventually got mind controlled to be short-term Arthur's stand-in. Is this in WoW? So, I guess to explain my thoughts on WoW lore, guys, it's the same as a Morrowind fan's thoughts on Elder Scrolls Online lore. In my opinion, none of it is canon. Even parts of Warcraft 3, I'm kind of like, I'm like, Warcraft 2, they retconned Warcraft 2, man. 3 drones for 2 probes, not too bad. Oh, this is a quick Templar Archives this time. Much quicker pivot. He's been leaning into Stalker pressure so much, and this is the first time where he said, okay, let's just go Storm now. And Solar's going to get pretty quick Hydras up, and Banes, and a 4th base, and a 5th hatchery, while droning his 4th base. He's still building quite a few Hydras and Lings, because he doesn't know that MaxPax is not actually committing to this. Good tumor snipes So annoying. Solar doesn't replace them straight away. High Templar starting to gather energy. Stalker's coming in, being a nuisance. Things not able to set off the stasis trap. So annoying. Storm halfway done. 4 more gateways building. Interesting to see so few people gateway walling these days on the front. Wants to keep them all safe in his main base. Stalker's blinking back. Oh, so most WoW people don't like that expansion either? Oh, okay. Cool. We'll talk about that more later. I should cast the game. Sorry, guys. Keep getting distracted. Dude, these Stalkers, this is a really small 11 Stalker commitment. And yet he's like completely just vortexing Solar's attention into this area of the map. Does buy him time to get a lot of Storm up. And he's going to take the middle base. Thankfully, MaxPax is not a baboon. A lot of baboons like to take this base on the right side so that Zerg can get a free 4th base kill. Don't get me wrong, there are some wide open angles into this, but with good storms and like fighting retreat and maybe a stasis trap or 2, it's not that hard to defend. I think this is the correct way to play this map for MaxPax. Banelings on the right side. Looks like they might want to roll into this base. It's going to be 10 gateways in a moment, plus 2 attacks on the way. No, is there no robo? He's got a robo. I'd love to see a few immortals get mixed in, because right now there's very few units to buffer. Fleet Beacon already starting at 8 minutes. Solar's building 2 spines, but he's on 83 workers. Is Solar taking too long, maybe? Bane speed finishes. Stalker's warped in on the top, 2 on the bottom, but he lets the Banes in. Not going to get as much as he would have liked. 6 probes only. Prism gets into the main base. Gonna go for a little Zealot warp in, just being annoying. It's all about buying time for MaxPax, guys, while he layers his defenses. MaxPax has a win condition. Its name is the Mothership and then the Tempests. Mama is so good at defending Hydra Bane, but it costs 400, 400, and it's kind of crazy to invest in it this early. You should build it in your main, in my opinion. Don't want to really build it on the front, because then it gives away what you're doing. Contaminate on Mothership's really good. Where's he building it? A natural. Fair call. That's fine. Mass Hydra Bane. 83 workers. 24 Hydras. It's going to be over 40 Banelings and about 60 Zerglings. How many Storms are there, guys? There's 6 High Templar, 12 Psi Storms between them. Only a few Archons and Immortals, though. Great Storms! Good first Storms. At least the first one. The second one maybe slightly wasteful. Stasis Trap. Oh, the Stasis Trap does help out. That Storm not too effective. Storms are buying time, but he's using a lot of them. The probes running away is the correct call. Good pullback on those. I don't know if he can defend this 4th base. MaxPax getting pushed back, and he's used too many Storms. I think Solar might have him here, guys. But massive Zealot counterattack. He does have a spine, but only 1 behind. Banelings roll forward. That 1 High Templar goes down. Hydra's eating a fair amount of Storm damage. It seems like a good trade for Solar, but he can't be losing all of his economy to that Spine Crawler doing such a good job. MaxPax micros his Zealots behind the mineral line. Good micro for MaxPax in the midst of everything. Yes, he loses his 4th, but he gets the Zealots around, which means now the drones are exposed. He'll lose at least a bunch of those. 8 drones go down. Good handling by Solar. Kills the 4th, kills a lot of army, pulls back. And this should be game over because he's killed the 4th. 5 base versus 3 base. Just kidding! Just kidding, guys! It's my favorite unit. Anyone who's watched my ZvP ladder streams recently knows all about how much I love when Mummet comes. When I'm playing Hydra Bane and Mothership comes out, it makes me so happy. I've thrown a lot of games from this situation. Solar's still advantage, but he's going to run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. He's going to try and attack. Oh, he has an Overseer. He does have an Overseer. It comes in from behind. The Stalker's trying to target it. He eats some big Storm damage. The Overseer almost gets focused. He has to back away. I think he's got to drop a Spire right now. MaxPax is poor. Back in primary school, we would have said he's Povo. You know, we would say, oh, you're Povo, you're Povo. Of course, a nice Australian abbreviation for poverty-stricken. You know, he's in poverty. He's Povo. Good times. Hydra's going in pretty deep. They could get caught here. If he can defend the Zealot run bys, this is actually good for Solar, but Zealots are in the mineral line. They can't throw this army away. Oh, I wish he split the Lings into that mineral line, actually. Oh, the Queens are going down. The Queens are starting to fall. Okay, good transfusers. Oh no, the drones! Another game where he hasn't noticed. The drones! Too much happening at once. And every drone on his 4th base goes down. If he kept those 18 drones alive, I think this was okay. But he doesn't kill any probes. And now he loses so many units. He's still got, what, 12? Only 12 Hydras. He's lost 26 of his Hydras. He could target that base down if he wants, but Storm is there. Oh, Mama saves the day again. I think you got to run away when you see her. I think if he ran away when he saw her, he could have been good. But there's something about seeing the mothership that triggers Zerg players. I'm telling you, that was why I'm sharing my own stories. I make bad decisions once she's very good against Hydra Bane, admittedly, but oh my gosh, not into the Storm Stasis Trap. He's attacking through Storm Stasis Trap, Time Warp. I mean, I think he's in a pretty bad spot. He's pretty all in. He's not re-droning. I guess he has to go. But the Zealots tearing up his base, attacking through Storm, Time Warp, Stasis is obviously not going to work. And without Corruptor's deal with Mothership, she tanks so much damage. Solar had a pretty good setup there, but the Zealot run-bys and then the Mothership coming out just flips the table so effectively. She's such a good unit because Time Warp just creates this kind of you can't fight here zone combined with Storm. But she's also got 700 hit points. Shields and hit points combined. And she can just micro back. And she's got a good amount of damage as well. She does like, I don't know what her DPS works out to, but it's like, she has like 4 different barrages. Each one does 4 times 6 damage. So it's like 4 times 24 or something like that every like 1.5 seconds or something. She kind of does this and it spreads across 4 different targets, but essentially Hydraling Bane doesn't have any armor. Her attacks are massively reduced by armor, so she's worse against roaches, terrible against ultras, not good against corruptors. Hydras, Lings, Banes, none of those have armor. She's doing full damage. She can tank a lot of damage and kite backwards. And until you get corruptors out, it's just so hard to deal with it. And the fact is, if they only build Mothership and no Tempests, you really don't want to build corruptors just for Mothership. It's such an expensive amount of units you have to build to counter her. She's a great unit choice. MaxPax holds on and forces game 5. All right, guys, MaxPax top right side of the map. He's going across for the block at the very start. Very good way to play on this map. And honestly, can you get the hatchery down in time if you don't build the Overlord? I don't know if you can. Is it not possible, guys, if they send this across? Because I think, what does that start? Like 30, 35, 36 seconds? Yeah, I don't think you can possibly get this hatchery down unless you go... Even if you go 14 hatchery, I don't know. Maybe 14 hatch gets down on time. He's just going to have to take the third, play a bit more of a standard build as Solar. It's not like he was trying super hard to get it down. He did build that early Overlord. So no big surprises there as he places the hatchery. MaxPax, of course, at a certain point in time, he will probably go in the main. Probably waits a few more seconds just in case the drone doubles back in. All right, Probe's dancing around. Being a nuisance, I do like Solar attacking him. And he goes back to mining. Yeah. And then what you should do is you pull one off and try to knock his shield regen off here. I think if Solar could have stopped his shield regen a bit earlier, and it just limits his ability to keep doing that. It's not a big deal, but it does matter. Like here, he could have pulled that guy off and already dealt with him. I think the rotating of the drones, this is like one of the pointless details in StarCraft. Or not pointless, but so minor that I think I have one of the best techniques at. But I think it comes from being an Australian who always plays with more lag than everyone else. So I really can't do the spam clicking war with anyone who's committing to it, or I will lose every single time. So I have to pull a drone to chase him off. Adept starts up. Oh, he's chronoing. Okay, MaxPax's going to chrono the Adepts, taking advantage of the third base being a bit more exposed. Let's see. I have the most embarrassing thing. If I speak, if someone near me speaks in an Australian accent, I automatically speak in that accent. I'm English. When they ask if I'm from Australia, I have to immediately say, sorry, I have this thing. And I do the same thing. That's fun. There's nothing wrong with being a social chameleon. It's fun to mimic the way people speak. It's really good. Like, I do this in all sorts of social settings. Yeah. You guys ever watch, like, what is it, like Steven Seagal when he's like a cop pulling people over? And if they're like Latino, he's like, "Hey, say, how you doing, man?" And we're like, "Oh, is this racist or like weird or like what?" You know, but like he just mimics like whoever he's speaking to, the way they speak. I mean, he's a bit of a psycho, so a bit of a weird guy, but like I kind of do the same thing in a less ridiculous format. I try to do it less these days because I know it's a bit weird, but It's fun. It's fun trying out the way different people speak. So far, 2 Zerglings. I don't think you commit here. This is lots of Zerglings for Solar. I think MaxPax knows he's forced enough of a response. Third Nexus at 330 once again before walling off. He just feels so confident with this early Oracle. Don't think the Lings are going to get much done. I think one thing Solar hasn't tried this series is earlier heavy Ling aggression and delaying this Spore Crawler and like skimping on spores and saying, I'll just keep you at home. But oh no, the Adepts are still over here. These Lings are way out of position. Those Lings just now start to move on the minimap. The drones should have ran a little bit quicker. Oh, that Spore gets blocked. There's 3 drones already and now the Oracle. Oh, disastrous early game here for Solar. And remember, I mentioned it earlier was it Ruby Rock? One of the maps, he moved it out with his Zerglings without having cleaned up the Adepts. And I was like, that's dangerous because if those Adepts are hiding somewhere on your side and they shade in when your Lings are on the wrong side, they do so much damage. And that's what we're looking at here. Oh, no. Such a good series. And I really hope it's not just decided by this slip up in the early game. It's going to be hard to come back from here, though. You know it's just going to be a nice crisp blink timing. 4-gate blink Oracle. And from this far behind, what do you do? 14 Zerglings coming out. Feels like too many when you're this far behind, man. What's he going to... I guess he keeps the Oracles back, but he's already... I mean... he's going to Nidus Queen Zergling. Okay. Yeah, Solar realizes an all-in is his best option. This is what Dark would do. I always say in this matchup, you should always think, what would Dark do? Oh, he's got an Overlord in the back. Yeah, he can do his first Nidus here. Because as long as you get the Queens in, then you can throw your next Nidus on the front somewhere. Oh, that's huge. Because this is a good map for Nidus in general. You could do it against Terran. This is a good map for Nidus all in against Terran as well. But he senses it. He's building multiple batteries. Because he's like, why would you be building more Zerglings after taking all that economic damage? That was the big tell. Seeing those Lings rallying out, that was a mistake for Solar. If he didn't show those Zerglings, I think he catches MaxPax a bit more off guard. Now, MaxPax isn't 100% sure what's happening. But I mean, 3 batteries now on the front. It's all about the main base. Nidus Worm going up. He's going to have 6 queens. I think every queen is popped inside there. These drones are just going to abandon that base potentially. Oh, I realize he doesn't need to. Queens and Lings popping in the main. He's going to put multiple tumors down. Okay, just one. I mean, you only need one. Lings into the main. Nice stalker positioning. Probes fighting. Oracle will get pushed back. Lings trying to take down the pylon there on the left side, but the Oracles are very dangerous. Energy recharge on that Oracle. It's doing massive damage on the Zerglings. You can see the kill count starting to build up. The Overlord's dropping creep behind. The Lings maybe need to stay away from these Oracles, because if his Ling count gets exhausted, he's in trouble. The Lings need to go after the Stalkers. The Lings are getting massacred on the top side. Bad micro for Solar. Bad micro for Solar. Even though he kills all the probes, he's exhausted a lot of his Zergling count. Needs to keep unloading from the Nidus Worms. Both Niduses are here. Only the front one's unloading right now. Ling's going in the natural, though, doing really good damage. The scary thing is the Stalker count. Similar workers for both sides. It's all about the Stalker count. If you can keep these Stalkers alive, they will eventually clear through everything. But that's an eventually. That's not a right now. And that natural's starting to lose workers. If he loses the workers on the natural, he's dead. The Forge is getting chronoed. He's trying to get his +1 up. I don't think that's the priority. I think surviving's the priority right now, Maximus. Third base is still mining, remember. So even with the main not mining, 35 workers against 39, the Queens and Zerglings are going to back off. He's going to build drones. He's going to do a Queen Walk Ravager all in after this, I think. No, he goes Hydroden. Cancels his Rotoran, builds the Hydroden. Soul's going to Nidus Worm the front. He's going to try and get these Overlords out, but one dies there. Nidus Worm dies there. Creep Tumor is spreading in the face of those units. Does get taken out. And what's he got? 18 Zerglings, 7 Queens. I think MaxPax, because he's still got 1 Oracle and 14 Blink Stalkers up. I think he's still in a good spot. Overlords need to get out of here, man. He's trying to go up to 4 Gas Hydra Ling. I don't think Solar can go past 50 drones. Oh, gosh. Even going to 50 might be too much. This is so many Stalkers. The Lings are going to counter. But an Oracle plus 2 shield batteries, I think, can hold off all those Zerglings entirely on his own. These Overlords should have gone to the sides so that they could have escaped there. MaxPax gets a good catch. Oh, look at that. Stalker warping instantly. Fourth hatchery in the bottom right. Units lost tab now. 800 in favor of MaxPax. Solar's in massive trouble after that early game. I love the choice for the Nidus Queen Zergling. I think maybe he could have just kept her attacking the natural a bit harder. maybe rallied some Zerglings in the third as well, though the 2 shield batteries are going to be a problem, and he just can't do anything. He's going to tap out there, goes out with a bit of a whimper rather than a bang. Don't get it twisted, guys. This was completely decided by the early game pressure. Completely. The Zerglings couldn't find anything. They're getting cleaned up. They can't get any damage. Stalkers are on the front. He taps out. This all came back to that early game. How the heck did those Zerglings miss these 2 Adepts? What went on there? Don't be wrong, it's a good map for Protoss in Game 5. I think MaxPax probably should have built this map earlier. The Lings just ran on the right side. He clicked them here. If he'd clicked them straight across the map, they would have ran straight past these Adepts most likely and seen them there. Or at least here. Because he's clicked them here, which I think is a misclick. Maybe he was planning to break the rocks, but it's like, this is so bad. And then he kind of just doesn't realize they're right here. His Overlords... Wait, why doesn't he have an Overlord out front? Oh. Guys, what's with Solar's Overlord positioning? His Overlords... I mean, I get he's got 2 on the other side of the map. Why are these Overlords all the way back here? He should have at least had an Overlord up here normally. Normally you'd have like 1 here, and then 1 over here or something like that. But these Adepts come in, they do good damage. It's the Oracle joining with them. It's a disaster. Absolute disaster. 8 drones go down. I mean, that's just devastating start. And I think really good read here. Gets another drone. We'll see it in a moment. He's going to see more Zerglings come out with this Oracle. Right here. This is a huge mistake. Just those 2 Zerglings alone, you're like, wait, why the hell are you building Zerglings right now? He sees 2 more. When you put your opponent that far behind with economic damage, 90% of the time the Zerg is droning as hard as they possibly can trying to catch up. If he's building more Zerglings when he's already got Lings at your front, kind of giving vision, you're like, whoa! And you're going to see MaxPax's reaction now. Comes forward. Sees a drone going forward. Sees not that many drones on the third. Sees more Lings popping, and he's just like, yeah, nah. Immediately drops more batteries. Keeps on making Stalkers non-stop. Excellent hold for MaxPax. Turns the series around. Shout out to his win against the Mutalisks on 10,000 feet as well. MaxPax is a beast in this matchup. I love Solar's build variety. Unfortunately, he slipped up in the early game in Game 5. Hats off to him, though, for almost making a play of it with the Nidus Queen Zergling. Either way, GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. Massive finals, and really good to see a rare grand finals between these 2, as it's been a while. GG, well played.